Oh, hello. I'm sorry, I didn't see you there. Welcome to Knitting with a G. Today I am back with a better camera and I'm going to show you how to finish a project and also how to purl. I'm going to start with purling and I've dressed accordingly. This is an example of what a purl looks like. On this part I've knitted and on this part I've purled. A purl is really just a backwards knit, so you can tell that the knit section is raised while the purl section is more depressed because the knit section is so high above it. Let's learn how. See my olive oil? Okay. So what you're going to do, purling always feels really awkward to me because it feels like you're knitting backwards, and it feels that way because it's true. So if you feel like you're doing something wrong, just have confidence that you're probably not. What you're going to do is instead of putting the needle up through the stitch like you would with knitting, you're going to stick it down inside of the stitch. And then you're going to take your yarn, wrap it around the front of your needle so that it comes in between the two. Stick the needle up through the stitch again and pull it over the top of the other needle. Show you how to do that again. You're going to stick the needle down inside of the stitch, wrap your yarn around the front, stick the needle up through the stitch, and then pull it over the top of the needle. I did want to show you that if you are knitting and you want to switch to a purl, if you're knitting, your string is going to be over here. So if you want to switch to a purl, you need to bring your string around to the front. And also, if you are purling and you want to switch to knitting, then your string is going to be in front and you need to take it around to the back for a knit. So I'll show you how to do the purl one more time. Bring my string around to the front. Stick your needle down inside the stitch. Wrap the yarn around the front of the needle. Stick your needle up through the stitch and pull the stitch off of the needle. There you go. What purling is good for is you can make cool stripes on a scarf if you want to, or I don't really have an example of this to show you, but if you knit a few stitches and then purl a few stitches for a few rows and then switch, like if I was knitting this section I'll start purling, and if I was purling this section I'll start knitting, that would create a square pattern, and that's really cool for blankets. I guess you could also do it for a scarf. It might look unusual, but perhaps you're an unusual person and I don't hold it against you. Now I'm going to teach you how to finish your project. I'm probably not going to show you all the way today because it would just take me a long time, and we'd have a lot of awkward silence. I feel that most of this video series have been one long unfortunate event, and so I just would like to avoid that experience altogether. So I'll show you a little bit about how to finish your project today, and then I'll finish it on next week's video. And I'll also be showing you how to correct mistakes if you've made them. So what you're going to do to finish your scarf, and you know, you're finished, it depends on the wearer of the scarf really. Obviously, if the scarf is for a baby, it's going to be a different length than if the scarf was for Andre the Giant. So I just test mine by putting it around my own neck and finish when it feels right. So to finish, you're going to knit 2 stitches. Or you can do it purling, but I'm just going to show you knitting because it's faster. And then when you've got 2 stitches there, you're going to take one of those stitches and just pull it over the top of the stitch in front so that it falls off the needle. Then you knit another stitch. And pull that one, the one in the back, over the top of the needle. And I'm not doing anything really complicated with my needles here when I'm pulling it over the top. In fact, you can really just do it with your fingers. I can show you. You take the back stitch and just pull it over the top of the front stitch. And you do that all the way until you have only one remaining loop on your needle, and I'll show you what to do with that next week. Knitting advice for the day: take breaks during your knitting so that you don't get carpal tunnel. Thanks. Good night.